Hello, Identity Audience. Hope you're having an awesome day, evening, or whatever time you're watching this video. Glad you're here. Glad you clicked on this video. Love it if you hit the subscribe button and love it if you hit the like button. So this video is going to be very different than videos that I've done in the past. And I've been thinking about this video for a long time, but I think it's time to have a discussion. We need to have a discussion and we need to discuss about Alliance activities. Don't get me wrong. I love this game. I think it's a great game, and I appreciate everything that InnoGames has done to the game, and I appreciate all the development, and they continue to add stuff to this game. But with that said, I think there's still a glaring weakness to the game, and that is Alliance activities. And I want to throw out some suggestions to InnoGames, and hopefully they like the suggestions. Maybe they come up with one or two of the ideas. I don't know. Or maybe that streams some ideas where they go in a different direction. But the game's been out for over a year now. And why did I do that? How did that happen? Okay. And basically, your Alliance activity is a treasure hunt. And it lasts for 5 days. You earn points. And according to the points that you earn, you get in Alliance ranking and get rewards. So treasure hunt can be a little bit overwhelming over time because it lasts 5 days and it takes a while to complete all the different battles and so on. Don't get me wrong, I like treasure hunt. I participated in it. I do take days off where I don't do anything on it just because sometimes I forget. But I think there's other activities that they can do, and they have the building blocks already there. So it's very easy to add these things to the game. So let's talk about the building blocks. Let's first go into historic battles. We can go in here. Let's go ahead and give you something to look at while I'm talking about it. We're going to continue. Got it on auto. And let's go one. All right. So what can they do? So what does Historic Battles does right now? It forces you to try out different heroes. It forces you to use different elements. And it basically, you play it to get gear. So they can build it very similar to this. What they do is you can ramp up the power of the gates. And with that, in your activity, you only do a little bit of damage. Eventually, you're going to die. Or time's going to run out and you survive, and time runs out. And in that time, you only do a little bit of damage. And all your Alliance participates in this battle. So basically, it's kind of like a boss battle. And with your participation, again, you can have stages just like Historic Battle. Every time you battle, you get a certain amount of trophies, and every time you beat the gate, you get a large amount of trophies. And then you continue to move up the stages with your Alliance participation. And I think that is a great way to get your whole Alliance participating in historic battles. I think it's a great way to have a lot of discussion and strategy so your Alliance does better in historic battles. And it's a great way to just earn extra rewards and get rankings. You can build this exactly like you have Treasure Hunt. Don't make it as long as Treasure Hunt. Probably make it like a 3-day event. And with your participation, with your battles, you earn a certain amount of points. And your Alliance does a certain ranking because of how far they go in the activities that they have and participation in it. You don't have to do rankings there. You can also make it as just an Alliance event that your Alliance participates among themselves and they earn rewards out of that participation or whatever, or progress further in the stages. I think that's a very easy thing that they can do. They don't have to use the same battles. They can develop different battles, or they can use the same battles. It's just an easy way to do an Alliance activity. We're going to go ahead and retreat out of there. Another way that they can real easily add an Alliance activity is make boss battles. So just like Tesla battles, there we go. You're going to have different stages. And again, you're going to do a certain amount of, just a little bit of damage to that boss. Obviously, you're stronger, going to be doing more damage. And if you're on stage 1, you may clear it really quickly. And then you go on to stage 2 and it gets a little bit harder, and stage 3 gets a little bit harder. But all your alliance has to participate in attacking the boss. And every time you attack the boss, you get a little bit amount of points, trophies. And then when you kill a boss, you get a big amount of trophies. And as you go further up those stages, you get more opportunity to earn a bigger pot of trophies to move up the ranking. Again, this is something that's going to force you to use different elements. Let's just say, what I think you should do is, 1 week, throw in a gold boss. Another week, throw in a purple boss. Another week, throw in a red boss. Because that forces your alliance to develop all the different elements and try to develop all the variety of heroes to do better. That means sometimes your alliance will do better at like purple bosses, and sometimes your alliance may be really weak with the green bosses. It's all depends on their setup and the different type of heroes that they developed. And again, I think this is a great way to get alliance activity, alliance discussion, and alliance tips. And again, to put you up against other alliances and get you rooting for the team and ranking up. So, and with this, also, you can do it sometimes like ranking just like Treasure Hunt, or you could do it like alliance versus alliance. So it teams you up against an alliance and you're both fighting that same boss, and you earn points, and at the end, the winner gets the prize, and the loser, I don't know, gets a token for participation or something like that. But again, it's another area where they got the building blocks already built in. They just need to add some additional things, and boom, they got 2 additional alliance activities where basically they had 1. Now the third one, again, they have the building blocks. It's already there. Let me do a refresh. And let's do a battle. And go to battle. So, I got my new hero out there. But basically, again, you could do alliance versus alliance and team up alliances against each other, where they all attack each other and in their arena. Or you could do basically again, similar to Treasure Hunter. You got everything built out. There's not anything much you need to change, but you earn trophies for your alliance participation in arena battles. And you rank up against a bunch of group of individuals just like you do in Treasure Hunt. Now, this last way, again, has to do with around arena, but it's more alliance versus alliance participation. And there was this game that I played, and I can't remember the game or how exactly it played out. But basically, they had an activity where it was alliance versus alliance. You had 5 attacks that you could do against an alliance. I'm not sure if it refreshed or not. I don't think it refreshed. I think it was you got 5 attacks. And what it really made you think about in the alliance battles was you really had to think about on who you were going against. You wanted to go against people at your similar power. So every alliance, you got stronger players, and you got players in the middle, and then you got weaker players. And if you went against someone strong and you lost, basically if you continue against them, you lose 5 times, you're out. You can't do any attacks. So you want to maximize. You want to live as long as you can. And I think what it is like if your heroes died, they were gone, and you had to throw in other heroes. And so you had to think about your strategy of who the heroes you were using. You know, you first started off with weaker ones, going against weaker opponents, then you moved on up into stronger heroes. But you lost 5 times, you were done. So you wanted to survive as long as you can and do as many battles as you can. And every time you win, you earn points. But every time you lose, you also, your alliance lost points. So you want to be really strategic on who you were going against with, because if you went against someone with more power, you got more points on beating them. But if you lost against them, it went against your alliance. And so, and then also, you know, you lose 5 times, you're out of the event, and so you're not helping your alliance at all. So those are my suggestions in there, and I really encourage you guys. I want discussion around this, because I think the more discussion we have about this, the better this video will be. Please throw your ideas in the comments, and let's see what we can come up with alliance activities. Thanks a lot, and hit the like button, and definitely more videos coming out.